the kid. We're back here for another lovely weekly football battles, man, and this is a good one. This is a good one, okay? We have guys that are maybe considered two of the finest strikers in the game today. That is, of course, Karim Benzema and Robert Lewandowski, man. So look, man, let's get down to it, man. Look, these are the attributes that I feel will best decipher who is the best striker between both of them. And we're going to try and be real, talk about it, have a discussion, and I will do my best to objectively explain why each player comes up trumps in this attribute. So without further ado, let's go down to it. So shooting, finishing, the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. This is one of the most important, or perhaps the most important aspects of any striker. So, both of them are very good at finishing. Let's just be real. Both of them have scored amazing goals. Both of them can hustle with the left foot, right foot, tap-in passes, long shots. They can be tap-in merchants. They can be long shots, merchants in the air, various kinds of shots. But, you know, we have to try and look and just say which of these two is the more clinical finisher. Which is the guy that you can rely on and say, no, this guy knows how to finish. This guy knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. This guy knows how to ride. With that being said, so looking through it, I have to be real. I have to keep it. A thou. Keep it a thou. I think this player is the more clinical finisher. I think his array of finishing is better. I think he's much more of a sharpshooter as well. Not to denounce this other player, but I just think, you know, with regards to who is just a better at shooting. But the key thing is not only the ability to the technique of shooting, but to finish. It's going to be Lewandowski. Got to give this to Lewandowski. I mean, look, we can talk about that. His 5 goals in 10 minutes, which is insane under Pep. But we'll just look at the different kinds of goals that he scores and just how good he is at finishing. Just like his striking ability, it's been amazing, you know. And that's not take anything away from Benzema, but there was definitely that lull in Benzema's game when Cristiano was around, when he was pretty much there to breastfeed your boy Cristiano. But I think there has always been a consistency of Lewandowski and how good he's at being a striker and striking and putting the ball in the back of the net. Whether he's been doing it for Dortmund, Poland, well, in the qualifying, and of course for Bayern Munich. So for shooting, Lewandowski takes it. Ball control. Which player can make the ball be married fully 100% to their feet? Which player can really bring their ball to their feet and understands how to really control that ball in that beautiful technical way? I think this is pretty comprehensive in a way. But I just think for this player, I think he has probably one of the best ball control that we have seen from a striker in a very long time, and this is actually one of his strongest parts of the game. And this is an aspect that's really sets this player up. Well, sets this striker apart from other strikers of his generation, which is what makes him such a special striker. So, in the ball control attributes, I think for me it's clear. Maybe people will say no. It's going to give it to Lewandowski. You know, Benzema's ball control is good. I don't think it's exceptional. Lewandowski's ball control is exceptional, and I think that is just what made him such an amazing striker to see. Because he is a guy who you could very easily play in the midfield. And he'd be cool in the midfield because if you give him the ball, he's got amazing possession and command of the ball. And the reason why he can link well with other guys, other midfielders, especially at speed or through a counter-attack, is because his ball control is impeccable and is precise. So for that ball control, I'm definitely giving it to Lewandowski. Passing. Now people say, wait a minute, whoa. These are strikers. Why does what's the passing attributes needed? Well, this isn't 1995. This is the year 2020, you know, and I think for most strikers now playing in most formations, most managers in today's game is going to demand that a striker knows how to play with the midfielders, that the striker knows how to provide, and that is expected a lot from the striker. So the passing attribute is another important attribute, and in both of these strikers as well, these aren't target men. When we're talking about Benzema and Lewandowski, these are very much modern strikers who are very much married and in complete cooperation and coordination within the midfield. So, and looking at both of them, I think this is pretty comprehensive. I think this is pretty clear. For the passing attributes, I'm going to give it to Benzema. I think, you know, Benzema is a guy who is very, very confident coming in deep. And I think that the way in which he can provide for other players, I think is great. Lewandowski can do that as well, but not to the same degree that a Benzema can. And I think what's made Benzema so effective during the Cristiano years was how he was able to provide for a Cristiano, provide for a Bale, provide for an Asensio as well. So he was able to come away from just being the finisher and the striker that he was during his early Real Madrid days and his Lyon days to just be becoming much more of a complete, well-rounded striker and a well-rounded football player. So I just think with regards to passing, I'm going to have to give it to your boy Benzema over Lewandowski. Dribbling. Now, this one is close. This one is close. And I think this one is where we have to now really think about this. Both of these players are very good at dribbling. And both of these players have shown their quality in dribbling. And I think, again, showing why these strikers are modern strikers and why they're so good is the ability to dribble and to beat a man. Hence why, they can definitely get onto the end of a great pass, but they can also create goals for themselves. And once you have strikers that can create goals for themselves, that is where you're now entering into that upper echelon of striking ability, which is where these two strikers pretty much find themselves in. So with that regard, who is the better dribbler? And I was thinking about this. Because I was like, as I was thinking about this, I was just playing back instances where I've seen great bits of skill from both. But I think that there's more evidence for this player over this other player. Hence why I'm riding with a Lewandowski for this dribbling attribute, So look, and people will say, man, do you remember what Benzema did to those Atletico guys? And that was amazing. As in, if you happen to go onto YouTube and just see, and I can't remember which Champions League year it was, where it was Real against Atletico in one of the knockout games, when Benzema literally at the byline took out 3 dudes, and I think he then provided for Isco to score, I believe. So that was insane. But I just think that for Lewandowski, he shows it on a much more consistent basis. And I just think that, again, you look at that, his performance against Tottenham, him showing what he can do. And I think that is yet another attribute as well to his ball control, which is what makes him just the most gifted footballing striker that we have in the world today right now. So for the dribbling attribute, I'm going to have to give it to your boy Lewandowski on that. Balance, another good one. This is balance. Running with the ball. How good is this player running with the ball, having command, good posture, and maintaining a focus when they have the ball, especially running at speed. And this is very important because, again, as we said, these are strikers who play with the midfield, and especially when you're on the counter-attack, balance on the ball is key. It is flipping paramount. Probably one of the best guys with regards to balance is whether you want to look at a De Bruyne, a Neymar, or even like a Messi. So I think this one is clearish. I mean, the other guy is good at balance as well, but I think there is definitely more evidence for this dude over this dude. So for balance, I'm looking at the Benzema here. I think for Benzema, he's got a great balance on the ball, and I think he can get the ball from deep, go forward, run in straight lines, great. So I think Lewandowski can do it as well, but when I just look at their balance on the ball and I compare them running with the ball, I have more faith in Benzema really going further with the ball, covering more ground with the ball without losing possession of the ball than I do with a Lewandowski, and I think that's what makes Benzema so good, is that he can get that ball from deep, run straight, get past few guys, keep hold of the ball, pop off the ball through. So I just think his balance on the ball, I just think is better than a Lewandowski. I think for Lewandowski, he works more so with regards to receive the ball, pop off, receive the ball, pop off. I don't really see Lewandowski running with the ball that much as I do with a Benzema. So for Benzema with balance, I think I'm going to give it to a Benzema there. And let's roll with clutch. Who is more clutch? So I will say it again. 90th minute or 85th minute. everything is riding on this. Who would I put my money on? Who would I say now, this guy's going to come through? This guy's going to ride on through. This guy is going to really deliver me those goods. Who do I believe is going to come clutch and going to come big time in the most crucial moments? This one is clear. This one is clear, because I think this player has had a lot of clutch moments, a lot of big time moments, and especially when it comes big time, when it comes major time, he always shows through. So this one, I'm giving it to Benzema. I think this is clear. Lewandowski is great quality. We've seen how he is naturally talented from this football battle. But I think that whole thing of being clutch is where he really fails seriously. And I just think that, if I'm looking for somebody to come up big in the most pressurized situation, who has the biggest balls and the toughest psychology and mentality, it's going to be Benzema. It's going to be Benzema. I mean, so many, whether it's the Champions League finals, Champions League semi-finals, whether it's a clutch play that he does, a clutch goal that he scores, Benzema always comes through. Benzema always makes it happen. So yeah, for Benzema, I'm going to give him that clutch skill for sure. So we are all square here on 3-3. All square on 3-3. And the tiebreaker here is Ariel. Who is better in the air? This was a hard one. And again, let's talk about it. Let us have a commentary about it. This was a hard one. Because as I was doing this, I was like, there is good examples of both. And I know that both have gotten good goals from the air. So how do we decipher this? How do we break this down? And I believe and I feel that, this was marginal. This was real close. But I just felt that this player has had more moments in the air, and I believe that he is just slightly better and more effective in the air than this other player. So the guy that I went with was Lewandowski. Now this is not to do with Lewandowski just being taller than Benzema, because again, height doesn't mean anything. Cannavaro was short, but he had great jumping ability. But I just feel that Benzema's best work is really on the floor. He's good in the air. But I think Lewandowski is just a little bit better in the air than Benzema. So if, let's say, I'm a guy crossing the ball into the box, I have just a little bit more faith that Lewandowski is going to get there and score from the air than I do with a Benzema. But it's close, because Benzema is good in the air, and maybe we can have it back and forth, but I'm making an executive decision. I'm going for a Lewandowski for him to be better in the air. So there we have it. Your boy Lewandowski wins this 4-3, wins this football battle. So look, man, here is what it is. Comment below. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a back and forth. Was I right? Was I wrong? Was I this? Was I that? Where do we go through? Let's just have a conversation about this. Let's just have a back and forth about this, and let's just see how we ride here. Well, that's how I do it. That's how I'm going to roll with it. And Lewandowski wins this one. So if you have any suggestions for any of the football battles you want to see, do you want to see a rematch? Do you want to see Lewandowski face someone else? Do you want to see Benzema face someone else? Tell me, and let's have a discussion below. And I will see you next week, the next edition of Football Battle.